What's up, YouTube fans? This is DB trainer Chad Wilson coming at you again with another great DB tips video that I hope you guys can take to the bank and use it to dominate the opposition. Today, we're talking about the things you need to be an elite press man corner. But before we jump into the details, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next DB video that I put out like this one. Also, if you're trying to be an elite defensive back, you owe it to yourself to join the All Eyes DB Camp members area. I now have over 200 plus videos in there talking about drills, techniques, tips, coverages, and more. Everything you need to be the best DB you can be. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about playing press man corner and the things you need to be absolutely elite at it. Playing press corner is a demanding job. We all are aware of the kind of athleticism the position requires, but what are some of the less notable requirements that one needs to excel? So today we're talking about being an elite press man corner and what the things are you need to excel at the position. We're all aware of the kind of athleticism the position requires, but what are some of the less notable requirements that one needs to excel? In this video today, we'll talk about exactly what those attributes are and how they help you win. First thing is eye discipline. I consider this to be the most important of the attributes. That should come as no shock. I run All Eyes DB Camp. As I've told the guys that have played for me and that I've trained, you can play the game with an ankle sprain. You can play with a cast on your arm, but you can't play if your vision is impaired. You can't cover what you can't see. Victory at the line of scrimmage awaits the player who has the discipline to focus on the proper area of the receiver once he moves. Virtually all corners playing press can line up and look at the receiver's hips before the ball is snapped. Less corners are able to keep their eyes in that spot once the ball is snapped, and even fewer are able to maintain that focus as the routes run further down the field. The defenders that are really good at press all have that ability. Being able to maintain focus as the action starts allows you to mirror a receiver's moves better. Eyes in the right spot allow you to notice the change of direction sooner and thus be in better position to react. If there's one thing a defensive back should commit to improving, it's his eye discipline. You could never have too much. Second, solid lateral quickness. More and more these days, receivers are finding ways to move press defenders side to side at the line of scrimmage. They're also skilled at getting outside of a defender's frame and exploding upfield. Lateral quickness has always been a necessity as a bump and run corner, but never as much as right now. Along with the increased size and athleticism of wide receivers today, their knowledge of beating press is at an all-time high. There's no shortage of receiving teachers impressing on their pupils ways to move away from aggressive press defenders and separate at the line of scrimmage. With that being the case, the ability to move side to side must match the improvements that the receivers are making. On top of that, being able to suddenly change from one direction to another has never been more essential. Sure, developing speed should be a part of the defensive back's development, but doing so without the addition of acquiring lateral quickness is not ideal. Next is strong hands. I've always called the hands the icing on the cake. Here's what we know about icing. It may be last, but it sure is important. After the eyes and the feet have put a defender in solid position, it's time to strike. If the strike is weak, you run the risk of the receiver winning the rep. Weak hands make for weak jams. Thumping a receiver in the chest or shoulder changes his plans. Over the long term, it defeats his spirit and takes him out of character. Eventually, the receiver's moves aren't as crisp and his timing not as sharp. Wide receivers feel like they can deal with your body being in front of them. But when a receiver's hands start thundering into their posture, route running stops becoming as much fun. The other place where strong hands make their mark is when the ball arrives. The stronger a defensive back's hands, the more balls he catches. The stronger a defensive back's hands, the more force he generates when he punches through the hands on a reception to cause a pass breakup. All defensive backs should aim to develop strength in their hands by training their grip and their press power. And last, route IQ. No man excels at sport without instincts. Physical traits are cool, but if you want to stand on the mountaintop, your brain must lead your body. A defensive back that has a good idea of what's coming, either before the snap or during the route, stands a good chance of defending it. Route IQ is best developed through experience and repetition. However, through studying, a player can speed up the process. Watch film, watch games, and study offenses to up your IQ. Gaining an understanding of how offenses work will give you the ability to defend them better. That's just common sense. A punch anticipated is a punch avoided. Building your anticipation by studying the moves of your opponent. Be obsessed with knowing their moves, their thoughts, and their plans. When you know them better than you know themselves, the fun as a press defender really starts. And that's it. If you're looking to be a top flight press man corner, you want to have these things in your toolbox. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and like and share the video. And of course, before you leave, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out the All Eyes DB Camp members area. I have a link to it in the description down below. If you want to raise your game to the elite level, definitely want to check that out and seriously consider joining. That's it for now. And remember, All Eyes DB Camp, consistency breeds results.